book a few years ago called Do It Yourself Psychotherapy by Sheppard. I think it's one of the best personal development books I've ever read. It was written back in the 70s. He was an American psychiatrist and a really interesting man. If you haven't got the book, really recommend it. It's not an easy book to read in terms of doing the exercise and executing it, but it's a great book. But what I want to share with you today is his rules for mental health. He had a list of them, and I'm going to give you most of them. I'm going to leave one or two out. I'm going to give you most of them. The first one is learn to interpret anxiety as excitement. This idea of the way you explain things to yourself. So imagine something is really worrying and you're really anxious about it. Just reinterpret and think, wow, what a ride. Just think about it as excitement. Don't do anything you can't share. Really, really important. If you can't share it with your family, with your friends, you shouldn't be doing it. It's not good for you. So don't do anything you can't share. Be ready to discuss everything that you do. Expect nothing, and you've nothing and no one to blame. It's very simple. We're full of expectations, aren't we? But expect nothing, we have nothing, no one to blame. Assume that everything that happens to you is your own doing. I think it's really, really important. Again, we talked about this before in one of my clips. Know that if you're true to yourself, then eventually you will find people who love you and respect you. It's amazing to see the number of people who put up a front. They try to be something they're not. They try to pretend they're something they're not. And people come and like them for that person, but they don't meet the real person. And then, of course, the real person is frustrated because they know that this person doesn't really know them. If they didn't know them, they mightn't like them, and so on and so forth. Much better just to be yourself. Be who you are, and eventually you'll find people, you'll meet people who are like you and who like you, who you are, and don't want you to be something else. When you're dissatisfied, ask yourself, what is it that you really feel like doing, and try to do it. It's a really, really powerful exercise, that one. So when you're dissatisfied, just say, well, actually, why am I dissatisfied? What would I really like to be doing right now? I'm going to try and do it. I find that one really, really good. I love that one. This one you're going to love. It's better to ask and get a no, perhaps, than not ask, which means you're definitely getting a no. It can't happen. So think about it. It's always better to ask. Touch people more often. Be more physical. Touch people more often. Don't be afraid of reaching out there and touching people. Give them a hug. Embrace them. Whenever you feel in conflict with somebody, try and play both sides and become the person you're angry with. It's a really, really simple exercise. In EQ, it's a really powerful exercise too. Really, really simple. I try and do it with mixed success, I have to be honest with you. But it's a great exercise to do. Listen to people. It's interesting. Just say the following to yourself. Listening can be as stimulating and intelligent an act as talking. This is something I've had to learn. So listening can be as stimulating and as intelligent an act as talking. Remember, you don't need a friend along to do something. This is something I've been practicing a lot. I want to go for a ride on my motorbike. I don't need a friend along. I just hop my bike and go for a spin. I want to go and see a movie that's over to see with me. I just go to the movie. Treat others the way I'd like them to treat me. That's an obvious one. So treat others the way you'd like them to treat you. To get people to confide in me, this is an interesting one. So if you want people to confide in you, you must first confide in them. I practice this a lot. I'm very open, very transparent. I share a lot. And the consequence of that is people trust me and they confide in me. So I think it's just really important. Always remember to say what you feel. This is one that most of us are very, very poor at. We don't want to hurt people. We don't want to damage relationships. We don't want to whatever. And so we don't actually say what we're really feeling. And the consequence then, of course, is we don't understand why we're not getting the support we require and so on and so forth. We all get upset and it ends up in drama. And the last one, I don't mean to be morbid in this one, but I think it's really good. Meditate on death daily to give your life more meaning. I am absolutely aware at the moment of my mortality, and I try and keep that front of mind all the time. I could be here for another year, another 50 years, but I really meditate this regularly and say, this could be it. This could be my last day, my last week, my last month, and I really try to make the most of it. I don't hang on to stuff that perhaps I would or not thinking that way. So meditate on death daily and see if it gives more meaning to your life. Hope you like them. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.